All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another Genshin Impact drip marketing reaction video, an annual special at that. With this one, we are going to be checking out the characters featured for the version 6.0 Nod-Krai release. Based on the fact that we've been getting a lot of teases, a lot of hype and excitement and reveals from the Song of the Welkin Moon teaser trailer, as well as the Nod-Krai concept web event, which was super exciting, gave us a bunch of lore and things to look forward to with this new nation. And actually, this drip marketing video is a little bit late because this actually released last night. Technically, one character released last night and another character released this morning, and I think we're getting another character released tomorrow, because for those of you who remember, Hoyoverse has actually done this before, and I actually think I figured out why they're doing this and how to predict and anticipate it in the future. So at the end of last year, we got the drip marketing reveal from Mavwika, Sitlali, and Lanyan, where they did this exact same thing of, before we used to get drip marketing the Monday leading into a new patch. However, now we get drip marketing the Monday following the release of a patch. I feel like it was a combination of, you know, they're kind of extending the life of the hype and excitement for the new character reveals, like they kind of do in Honkai Star Rail. They give one character drip per day, but I also feel like it's so that the new drip marketed characters don't interfere with the week one banner sales. At that time, Mavwika, Sitlali, and Lanyan were the first ones to kind of usher in the situation, and them specifically being multiple characters per day, and I didn't know why. I couldn't figure out why, and now it's happening again. I think what we can expect for a 6.0, 7.0, 8.0 release, as well as any release that falls on the patch of Lantern Rite. The reason they do this, they drop a character on Sunday night at midnight, Sunday morning at midnight, and Monday morning at midnight if we get 3 characters that patch. So the last time this happened, again, it was for Mavwika, Sitlali, and Lanyan, who all released on the 5.3 banner, which this situation happened. I had to record 3 separate videos, and because I wasn't anticipating this and I didn't know that there was a correlation at the time, now I realize it. I'm like, okay, now I can be on my guard and know for next time. Tonight at midnight, we should be getting another video, which I'm going to try to stay up for that and post that as soon as possible. So expect another video later today. But basically, I'm sitting down to record my first reactions to the new characters, to the new drip. I feel like for this banner, and we've been talking about it a lot since the Song of the Welkin Moon trailer came out, but with Inefa's release, you know, we have Inefa, we had Aino showcased a lot during her story quest and her trailer and stuff like that. I think this drip marketing is going to primarily focus on Nod-Krai specific characters. And from the trailer, I would assume it's anyone from the Clink Clank Chromkake workshop, the Frost Moon Scions, or the Light Keepers. And with Lauma being technically the first revealed character in like the earliest Nod-Krai teaser, I'm assuming it's going to be Lauma, who is a Dendro unit, Aino, who is a Hydro unit, who might also be the free 4-star unit that we get every nation, right? Kallan Sumeru for Dendro. We had Lynette and Fontaine with the Osenuma alignment. We have Kachina and Natlan with the Night Soul's Blessing mechanic, and now in Nod-Krai, it seems like we're going to have Aino with the Lunar Blessing reaction. So, and surprisingly enough, all of those free units for each year were a 4-star, and they are all different elements, which is interesting. So again, I'm expecting it to be Lauma and Aino, and for the second half, I'm basically expecting it to be Flynn's, because if you're starting out Nod-Krai, you're not going to want to throw a Mondstadt character like Grandmaster Varka or Nefer, who seems to be very Sumeru coded, into a Nod-Krai specific patch. And I kind of think that it makes sense, because these characters that are going to be coming out, they have tenure, they have history, they've been around for years, they've been talked about for years. And so I think it's important to at least showcase and put the Nod-Krai characters front and center. I am going to be skipping Lauma. I'm going to be skipping her. If they give me one free copy of Aino, that's great. I hope that, and if Flynn's is in the second half, it's a little bit of a bummer, because that means I'm not going to be able to go for any Aino constellations if she's put on the first half banner with Lauma. Even if we get a free copy of her, constellations are always good if you're going for the 5-star anyway. You know, chances to snipe as many 4-stars as possible is always great. But yeah, overall, I'm very, very excited to check this out. We're gonna be getting the first bits of lore with these characters, which is the most exciting thing for me. Big thank you to Anthony for putting this together for me last night, and again, updating it this morning. And for any of you guys who are watching, again, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I will be making another video like this around midnight, 1 o'clock. I'm going to try to react to it as soon as possible and get it posted for you guys. But with all of that said, sorry for the yapping, but we are going to be checking out the Genshin Impact 6.0 drip marketing right now. Yep, Frost Moon Scion. Lauma was a given. Like, she was the first revealed character. Look at this. Absolute cinema. This is goated. Holy moly, her art style looks so cool. Evermoon's Sacrament Song. Maiden of the Grove. That sounds like, that reminds me of Honkai Star Rail, honestly, the Grove of Epiphany. But, okay, officially we have Lauma. I think that's how you say that. I don't know if that's the proper way to pronounce her name. We're gonna have to wait until she's in-game to actually know how the characters pronounce it. But we have Lauma, which we did see her Dendro Vision in her, in the initial teaser that was on her hip there. So I'm wondering if there's going to be a lunar blessing for every elemental application, right? So right now we know about Inefa having lunar charge reactions. So it's hydro and electro, but we have Lauma. So I'm wondering if the hydro is the main applicator and it's basically hydro and every other element. So I wonder if we're going to have lunar bloom, lunar vape, lunar electrocharge, and I'm drawing a blank, but basically any elements that relate with water. And I think that's the case because we're getting a free hydro unit. So if there's any unit that they'd want you to have to like not feel like you have to pull for other, you know, lunar reaction characters, I feel like it would be Aino at that point. So I'm kind of curious how this reaction is going to work over the course of the game, and you know, if there's any other type of lunar based reactions, and if the Traveler is going to get any. I really want the Traveler to be able to have like a lunar blessing for every element that you shift to. Like basically update the other elemental travelers to include a type of infusion or a type of elemental reaction property besides just Aino, if that's the only free unit you're gonna get. And it would just be cool because, you know, the Traveler gets an upgrade of some sort every year, and they did a little bit of fanfare with that with the pyro element. So it'd be kind of cool, even though this wasn't really like in the cards with the Traveler and the moon's power and all of that stuff. I really hope they consider adding like some lunar reactions to the Traveler before we go to Snezhnaya for the Cryo Traveler. So let us check this out. I'm gonna switch my camera here. Let us see our first bits of lore. Lauma is a member of the Frost Moon Scions, and they are the descendants of Hyperborea, which is tied to one of the 4 root cycle civilizations, the earliest civilizations of Teyvat, way back when. And you know, their lore ties a lot in with the dragons and or you know, the primordial one, the first earliest settlements and civilizations of humanity. So I'm assuming we're going to go to Hyperborea at some point during the next year, just like we went to Notlantia with Tallinn, Remoria with Fontaine, and I'm assuming Cronaria is going to be Conria, or the civilization before Conria whenever we go there. So very exciting for that. Under our Moon Chanter's most benevolent watch, no innocents or animals shall come to harm. Or so I would like to say. But should the law of the jungle falls away, some sharp-fanged beast will surely be starved the taste of flesh. Nefer. Nefer herself seems like a character that's existed for thousands of years, if not like hundreds of years, if not thousands, like around the age of King Deshret. I wouldn't be surprised if she's like one of King Deshret's affiliates from back in the day, especially since she mentioned that she's a great storyteller, but a storyteller even older than her has arrived, and then it was Nicole, who is basically a Seelie or an angel turned human. So and she's been around a lot longer. So I feel like Nefer is going to have a lot of lore and a lot of connections to King Deshret and Sumeru, maybe even a Pep. Lauma, title, Evermoon's Sacrament Song, Maiden of the Grove with the Moon Wheel Dendro. Visions are not actually visions. They are called moon wheels, actually. Spoiler alert before I get any further, but moon wheels, I'm going to give you a little bit of a heads up here. In the 5.8 Archon quest, it is revealed that visions are not actually visions. They are officially and appropriately called moon wheels, at least for the individuals of Nod-Krai. So their power doesn't come from Celestia. It appropriately comes from the moon, and they're referred to as moon wheels. They're not visions for Nod-Krai characters specifically, because they garner their elemental powers and their connections to the elements through the moon, which is a more natural and pure version of elemental control than what the primordial one was able to muster up and create for themselves using phlogiston, and essentially copying Dragon King Nibelung's homework with, you know, him creating the 3 moon sisters and that power being channeled through Teyvat. So in a way, it's almost like the moon is more so defending against the abyss than the elemental energies of Celestia, which is kind of cool. So yeah, that's awesome. So we have visions, we have gnosis, and we have moon wheels now, which is really cool. And I guess that's what the question mark Electro was back when we originally got Inefa's drip marketing. So really cool stuff. I still still have to read Inefa's lore and her weapon, and I think it kind of goes into the details a little bit more about moon wheels, but super cool reveals and new information that I'm very excited to learn about. So also let me know if any of you guys are pulling for Lauma. Like I said, I'm skipping her. I'll most likely get a free copy of Aino. I assume Aino is going to be on her banner, so unfortunately I'm not going to be able to get any Aino cons. And then I'm assuming the second half is going to be Flynn's whenever he comes out. He's my most anticipated Nod-Krai specific character. I love the Lightkeepers. I think that's my favorite faction when they first showed us the illustrations, which I am going to post my reaction to my first illustration reactions at the time. Let us check this out. Big lore here. Let's go. Though they are the indigenous residents of this land, the Frost Moon Scions do not seem to fit in with the Nod-Krai of today. They are too ancient, too stuck in their ways, too rooted in worship of a god they have never seen. They believe that the wintry woods are their shield and sanctuary, and the light of the full moon will dispel all that ails. They pray to the moon, on their lips an eternal refrain, "O goddess of the frost moon, when will you answer our wishes?" And when they receive only silence, they turn and ask again, "O lady moon chanter, when will the goddess of the frost moon answer our wishes?" Thus did Lauma step out from beneath the shade of the tree into the light of the moon. Thus did the congregation bow before her radiant antler crown and silver-blooded totem. Thus was she anointed the agent for an absent god. Interesting. So I wonder if Columbina is the moon god. She's dubbed like a moon maiden, and it seems like she's going to be the new moon. But then, like, who is the current moon, and is their power dwindling and they need to transfer to a new deity like person, and then Columbina comes into play? But they're also creating statues in the presence of their goddess, which is, it seemingly looks like Columbina, right? The statues of the moon goddess in Nod-Krai from the web event kind of seems like they're creating statues in the image of Columbina. So unless Columbina has some history here before she joined with the Fatui, I don't really know the relationship there. That's kind of like up in the air at the moment. But given that there were 3 moon sisters created by Dragon King Nibelung, 2 of the moons were destroyed in the War of Vengeance, and there's 1 moon kind of left in the sky. Columbina is mentioning that the sky's fall is nigh. I wonder if it just means that the 3rd moon sister is losing power and needs to baton pass to a new moon, so that way the sky doesn't fall or whatever, and Columbina is that individual. But I'm wondering why Columbina specifically, unless, you know, one of the moon sisters had a daughter or something, or if there's some type of connection or lineage to Columbina specifically, and why they're specifically worshiping her, we'll have to wait and see. But it seems like Lauma is like her emissary, her or I guess like the moon's messenger, essentially. She's like the closest connection. She's almost kind of like a divine envoy for Celestia back in the day, like with the angels. And so, you know, she's also asking questions too, like, Moon, when are you coming back? The people are kind of asking for you. I don't know what to tell them. And so they're just kind of devout followers. And it did mention in the drip marketing, or rather it mentioned in the on the web event, the initial web event, that amongst everything that the Frost Moon Scions represent, they never forsook their faith in the moon. So regardless of what happens, the only thing that they will not step back on, the only thing that they won't compromise on, is their faith in the moon. Very interesting. Very, very exciting. All right, so we have Lauma. Very excited to see how she shakes things up. I'm very interested to learn about her lore especially. And with all that said, we're going to jump into the next character, which I'm expecting to be Aino. Yep, the Clink Clank Krumkake Workshop. Oh, is that the workshop? Oh, yeah, that is it. Lempo Isle. Yeah, so obviously I watched her trailer after I reacted to the web event, but I didn't realize Lempo Isle was also the location that was in the trailer. Wow, that's really cool. All right, so the Clink Clank Krumkake Workshop is basically her home, which is cool. And she is hydro based. Her vision is in Inefa's character trailer, which is cool. So we have Clinky Clank Gadgets a Go-Go, parent of the Clink Clank Krumkake Workshop. Yeah, so she's the creator of all the little robots and gizmos and gadgets, along with Inefa, which is cool. All right, and I assume she's gonna be the free 4-star unit. I love that screw in her hair. It's just really cool attention to detail for her as like an inventor, a tinkerer, if you will. All right, let's see. You wish to know how to make friends with Aino? Oh, okay, this is Inefa. You wish to know how to make friends with Aino. Analyzing data. Generating answer. First, say no to savory krumkake. 2, admire Aino's inventions. 3, play with Aino often, Inefa. Aw. Yeah, she won me over. I think she won a lot of people over because, like, Inefa's demo and Inefa's teaser kind of felt more like Aino teasers and an Aino demo, given the fact that she's a 4-star. They basically integrated her with Inefa really, really well and characterized her right off the bat, and I really loved that. I love her character. I love her story so far, her lore, and I'm just interested to know so much more about her creations, if she kind of takes after or if she's inspired by Sandrone potentially, because I thought Sandrone created Inefa initially, and I don't know. It seems like she's kind of in a league all her own with creations and inventions. She would make Elaine Guillotin proud, you know, especially since his lore seems to be tied in with Sandrone, if Sandrone was a creation of his back in the day, but we'll have to wait and see. Anyways, we have Aino Clinky Clank Gadgets A Go-Go, parent of the Clink Clank Krumkake workshop with the Hydro Vision. Nice. Oh, big lore. Oh my goodness gracious. All right, this is a mouthful. Okay, let's check this out. A chaotic place lashed by howling frigid winds. For many, this is their first impression of Nod-Krai, but once you familiarize yourself with its rules and patiently explore the land, you'll come to know that it is full of miraculous, wonderful things as well. As you shop, you may meet a robot girl making purchases like anyone else, while the clanking of curiously shaped foundries echoes through the market. Yeah, so that's almost kind of like her trailer. That'd be cool too if we can see like Inefa throughout different spots of Nod-Krai, because that's currently the case with her in Natland once you finish the Archon quest, which is cool. If you're lucky, you may also catch a glimpse of robots speeding by. Ask around and you'll learn that these are all Aino's creations. If this piques your curiosity and you wish to meet this genius inventor, it's no tall order. Just walk out of Nasha Town and head to the outskirts, where a giant metal building awaits. Yeah, so we did see the map. They're kind of like next door Nasha Town in the workshop. Before even stepping outside, you'll be greeted by a unique aroma, a blend of machine oil, metal, and krumkakes. The smell of home for Aino, who stays here with Inefa, her all-purpose household robot. Aino lives life by a simple creed: invent interesting mechanical wonders for fun, and while not tinkering away, enjoy the best snack in the world, Inefa's freshly baked krumkakes. However, not all are lucky enough to meet this genius mechanic. Any who do not appreciate her creations will see the craft shop's doors slam shut in their face. So, before flooding her with endless new requests, maybe shower Aino's designs with some well-deserved praise first. Yeah, aka don't overwork this lady, kind of like Jalonin right now. I kind of want all the inventors of Tevat to kind of meet up with each other. Jalonin, Aino, Cloud Retainer, you know, these basically like Galaxy Brain inventor type people, and just kind of learn from each other or inspect each other's creations and their differences. Now that they're focusing more on having like the Traveler Tales being a permanent event, I really want that to be the case with some of these connected characters that are so tethered together through common interests. I talked about that in Inefa's trailer as well, but I really would love to see that. So basically, give her well-deserved praises first. Otherwise, well, wouldn't it be a shame if disgusting krumkake started popping out of your next mechanical device for whatever reason? Jeez. Basically, praise my inventions or you will rue the day. Yeah. Oh my gosh. This was great. I love this. Thank you so much, Anthony, for putting all of this together. I'm very excited for both of these characters. Our first look at their lore and a little bit more of their character. 5-star and a 4-star. So this is probably going to be phase 1 of the banners going up for 6.0. And then the second half is most likely going to have Flynn's. Now, I assume that that's kind of it. Unfortunately, I'm only going to have 1 copy of Aino with no cons. I'm at 12 pity right now. So maybe I'll do a cheeky little 10 pull when the new banner comes out, just to see if I can snipe at least 1 constellation, maybe 2 constellations of her, because I'm not at 50-50, and or rather I'm at 50-50. I'm not at pity, and I only have 12 pulls, so maybe I'll go to 30 or 40 and then stop if I don't get any copies of her early. But yeah, Aino's gonna be great. I'm very excited to just see how she performs and how she kind of utilizes lunar reactions in Nod-Krai, but I'm very much holding out for Flynn's, so the second half is gonna be a pop-off for me for sure. But yeah, that is everything. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I will be back later tonight with another video at midnight. I'm expecting them to drop Flynn's for drip marketing during the second half of 6.0. Unfortunately, we just have to wait midnight, because we got these two at midnight and 5 a.m. and then we have to get the next one at midnight for Monday, the proper drip marketing, even though it's a little early. But again, I think it's because we're getting 3 characters, and this might happen again during Lantern Rite if we get a free 4-star Lantern Rite character, or even Nod-Krai characters, along with, you know, I don't know if we're gonna get another 5-star, but I'm expecting 2 to 3 characters around the Nod-Krai Lantern Rite patch. If we get, say, like Columbina and a free 4-star, because we tend to get a 4-star every year for Liyue, and maybe like a middle ground character, either it be another Nod-Krai character or maybe like a 5-star Madam Ping would be cool too. But with all that said, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys are excited. I thank you so much for the support. As always, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'll see you guys in my next upload in a few hours, and until then, I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.